Well, hey guys, welcome back to Waters Family Homestead. I put a little scratch out, and what I've learned is since the turkeys like to kind of be the boss, then the adult chickens are next. They like to chase each other around. So what I've been doing is just sprinkling out in a row there and in a row down the fence here, and then throw a little bit out so that the baby chicks have an opportunity wherever they want to go to get some feed or some scratch, and kind of prevents the adults from being able to just keep them away from it and eat it all. And it seems to be working out well. I think this is the third or fourth day that I've done that, and they all seem to be enjoying it a lot more. But I got something else I did. So they do enjoy, seems like the baby chicks are somewhere on this scratch all the time. And sometimes they're right next to the adults, but they're not getting chased off near as far. They've learned pretty quick they can just run a little piece and get away from them and still have scratch. And there's a couple of them right here. So I can't call them the baby chicks anymore because they're teenagers just about. But what I can do is show y'all my outdoor brooder setup. And yes, I'm gonna go inside the pen and show y'all because it's really hard to see through 3 layers of wire. So what I learned with my first or second set of baby chicks was they can fit through the chicken wire, the 1-inch squares. Even though they're much bigger, their body is not. It's mostly feather. And I had 2 or 3 of them in one batch that got stuck in it and died. So what I've done today is I put my little dog kennel that's wrapped with chicken wire back out here, and I removed the extension cord and ran it over to hook, plug the light up so they've got some heat source right here. But y'all, in South Georgia during the day, it's been in the mid 90s. And after 2 weeks old, they only need to be 90 degrees to, for them to survive fine. So every week after 2 weeks, you start dropping that temperature by 5 degrees. So I'll leave this light on for another week or 2 or 3, something like that, until, because the night times are getting down into the 70s. And I don't have an automatic thermostat for that temperature, so I'll just leave it on all the time. They'll get away from it if they're warm, and they'll get close to it if they're cold. But I've still got 14 of the 15 that I purchased. These are supposed to be Rhode Island Reds, and I think they were pretty close to a week old when I got them from Tractor Supply. And like one of my other comments said, I don't like supporting Tractor Supply, but there's no other place in my area that sells baby chicks, and I kind of didn't have much of a choice. So I said this in the other video, I also ordered me an incubator. So now that I've got 15 or 14 baby chicks from different mothers and fathers, I've got Sue out here that's breeding these, and I've got Junior that's breeding those, and all of Sue's babies, those 8 that I hatched, are gonna stay with Junior. So I'll probably move those 4 adult hens that are over there in here with Sue. That'll give Sue the 7 Rhode Island Red that I hatched. But I've got 14 more. So I'll probably end up splitting some of those, about half of them over into Sue's pen and half of them over into, or 2/3 and 1/3, something. I'm gonna split them up, put some in with Junior when they get big enough. So what I did is I got my dog kennel out. I cleaned their waterers. Oh, she's upset because I blocked the door. She'll be all right. I filled their feeder completely full, and y'all just saw, if you could see through the wire, they were all around that feeder. I had made me a piece of wire to go over it so they didn't waste so much. They were going through that quart feeder pretty much in one day. So I may have to put that wire back on there. It's laying on top right here. I ended up cutting the holes a little bigger so they could get more feed, but I noticed it took them 3 days to empty that quart feeder, which may be plenty of food for them, but I don't want to take a chance that I'm not letting them get enough food. So I'll probably cut the holes a little bit bigger, put it back on there so they don't waste quite as much. But because they need to learn to peck and pick up instead of just kind of knock it all out. But they've got 2 fresh waterers there, and I've got water out here at this pen to fill it up with every day or every other day, however often it needs fresh water. And the feeder is a little bit more. I got to go out to the barrels, y'all know where I keep my feed, and fill it up and come back. But with the days we've been getting, the temperatures during the day, they need to be outside, not in the house. So in the house, it was doing a couple of things. One is they never got fresh sunlight and fresh air. So I didn't like that, but that's part of the, you know, keeping them in a brooder. And then the second thing was that light puts off a lot of heat. That's why I use a light. I don't use a heat lamp. I mean, you ever touched a light bulb that's been going? An Easy Bake Oven used to use a 100-watt light bulb, guys, and you can't buy 100 watts anymore. You can't buy any anymore, but I've got a bunch of those 72 watters, and it puts out plenty of heat for the baby chicks. So I've got that set up. I laid some scrap OSB and stuff on top so the adult chickens can't get up there and poop all over the babies. And hopefully in 3 or 4 weeks, 6 weeks, something like that, they'll be big enough that I can release with the other chickens. And he's over there. Must be something flying by that he didn't like. But that wasn't his warning call. That was just a, I guess, being grumpy old man call. But either way, I put a little scratch over here too. I always give these 4 some. So it's worked out pretty well so far. I have not gathered the eggs today. Yes, I'll let her fly out. She sure is a pretty chicken, but she's not very friendly as far as holding, you know, getting close to her. But I haven't collected the eggs or any of that today, and I need to. I'm gonna go get my brush. I'm gonna clean the waterers in all the pens. Got algae growing in this one again, so I'm gonna bring my spray bottle with bleach water in it, and I'll dump it out and spray it with that bleach water and clean it, and then rinse it and then let it fill back up. But this is not the biggest pen, but the biggest pen is the middle pen, and there's 2 roosts in there plus the nesting box and the feeder hanging in the middle. There's just not a lot of room to move around because 2 ladder roost in there. So this one worked out, I think, the best. They will at least, the hens typically gonna get in whichever box they want, but I think they're familiar with it enough that they'll get into which one. I moved most of the straw over here to be away from that light just in case, and if I have to, I can move the makeshift brooder over here, but it puts it really close to the waterer. So right now it's going to stay there. We'll see how it works out. I want it up against, you see I've got hardware cloth mounted down here at the bottom of this pen on the inside because baby chicks could get through there. So I put a piece of hardware cloth a little over a foot high all the way across, so when I do have baby chicks in here, they can't get through the wire, and by the time they're old enough to jump up and climb over or whatever, they're too big to go through the chicken wire. So that works out pretty well for me. But anyway, I'm gonna get done, go get my brush and my spray bottle and get the waterers cleaned. I was thinking of, haven't picked blueberries today either. I think I've got about a half a quart left on the bush. I've picked most of them. I've got 2.5 quart Ziploc bags in there. The 2 full ones are packed full. So I was thinking about setting the sprinkler up back on this yard a little bit. We have not had rain in a couple of weeks. So I've got 2 eggs in there, and there's 3 hens. So I'm only missing 1 from this side. And this one has got 3 chicken eggs and a turkey egg. And there's 4 hens over in these 2 pens, and both doors stay open. So they knocked the T-post down and the door got closed on them. So one of them couldn't lay in there and she laid over here. So all 4 over here laid, 2 of the 3 over there laid. So I got 6 eggs a day out of 7 adult hens. It's not too bad. I mean, that's pretty doggone good. And most of the time I'm getting 6 or 7 every day out of these adult hens. And I'm pretty sure I've been watching the babies, or the teenagers now. I've been watching them pretty regular when I have time to see if I can tell whether they're, you know, roosters or hens. And I've got at least 4 hens. I know I've got 1 rooster. I mean, he just can't be anything but that. That's actually him up there on the roost. When he walks around out here in the yard, his tail feathers are sticking straight up, you know, proud and all of that. The others, none of them are doing that. So I'm pretty sure he's a rooster, but there's a couple of others of the other 3 that could be roosters. They're just not old enough for the tail feathers to show that yet. But if it stays the way it is now, out of the 8 chickens, I've got 7 hens and 1 rooster, which would be fine with me. Which would be fine. I separate this run into here and there and have 3 pens, which is what our original deal was. I just need to add fence to go across here to separate it into 3, and of course another gate. But that may be the one that's a rooster up there. I can't know. That's him in the first pen. His tail feathers are long. These are kind of medium. So I know I've kind of messed up all the chickens' rhythms in their moods today. Them locking themselves in the middle pen until I let them out after church. You know, that surprises them when they do it to themselves. But the adults are doing well. Y'all can see them all panting pretty good. It is hot. It is the mid-90s again today, and the humidity is high, but we're just not getting the rain. So I think it's going to do well with the baby chicks out here. The turkeys are doing well. So everybody should be happy, and I can get those baby chicks out of the house before they start stinking up the house. And it's a whole lot easier to take care of them when I can come out and do, you know, my chores all in one area instead of having to do all that in the house and clean the brooder and all that. You know, if you do make a brooder like I did in the house out of a plastic tote or something, guys, baby chicks need something besides that slick plastic to stand on. So I lay a towel in there, and then after a week or so, I'll take the towel out and either change it to a clean one or take it out completely. But that first week or so is crucial, that they're not walking on that slick plastic. It will mess their legs up to where they have trouble walking the rest of their life. So you'll end up with some that are bow-legged as crap, or, you know, just can't walk straight. You don't want to do that to your baby chicks. Always have something there that's not slick for them to walk on. And a towel seems to work, and you can take the towel outside and hose it off and throw it in the washing machine and good to go. So that's what I do, and it works well for me. So anywho, guys, I appreciate you watching the videos. The new subscribers, you know, I had a couple of other channels. I can't remember the entire name, but Bella's Whispers Farmstead, I think, shared one of my videos, and, you know, trying to help me break that number that I've been stuck at for almost 3 months, pretty much. And it worked. I don't know if it was her or just whatever, but I got up to 601, and it stayed there for a day or so, and now I'm back down to 600. And it wouldn't surprise me if YouTube didn't knock me back down to 592 where I was. You know, whatever. That's just YouTube. It's going to do what it's going to do, and I'm going to keep doing what I do. So I do appreciate all the new subscribers and all your older existing subscribers. Thank you very much. I really, really appreciate it. And if there's any certain content y'all want to see, let me know. I'll be glad to try, do some research, and, you know, make a video about it. You just have to give me time now, because I work a lot of hours in the summer months doing heating and air and refrigeration and, you know, ventilation, HVACR. heating, air conditioning, ventilation. HV is heating and ventilation, AC, which is air conditioning, and R is refrigeration. I had to think for a minute. Y'all making me think today. But either way, I'm going to get these adult chickens' water births cleaned and sanitized and then refilled. And then I'm going to collect my eggs and pick the blueberries that are ready and possibly start a sprinkler because it wouldn't hurt. This ground's done got pretty dry. So thank y'all for watching. Remember what I always tell you. Jesus Christ loves you, and so do I. Y'all be safe. Be prepared.